And we are live. Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Sarah Mack. I'm a mindset coach for creatives. And I have a rant for you today about the pay rates of coaches and artists and healers. This is something I'm really passionate about. And I was just reading an article about how women obviously we all know that women earn less money than men. Something like, here we go, 74.2 cents for every dollar. And that at the rate that the annual earnings of women has grown compared to, the gap in annual earnings has barely budged between men and women in the last 20 years, even as education levels among women have surpassed those of men. So at the current rate of change, this is an article by Van City, the economic gender gap will not be closed for another 170 years. And it's very clear to me why this is the case. And it's actually a really simple solution, like really, really simple. It's not easy to implement, but it is really, really simple. And that it's women need to stop settling for less money, because you simply have to ask for more money. And when that money isn't offered, you simply have to say no. And I know that this could be a very, very polarizing perspective. And I know that it's not always easy to make the ask, and it's not always easy to get the no, especially when you're in a corporate environment. But this message and this offering that I have is specifically to women who have control over the rates at which they get paid. So if you are a freelancer, if you have your own business, if you're a creative, if you're an entrepreneur, you have a lot more autonomy over the prices that you charge. And it's really a simple case. And this is something that really I specialize in working with my clients, is helping them to double their income, because it's all an inner conversation. It's all an inner conversation. The amount of money that you're getting paid, whatever it is that you're willing to settle for, is all down to your inner conversation with yourself and the way you show up in the world, and what you're willing to ask for and what you're willing to say no for. So if you're settling for a shitty relationship, that's on you. You are still with the person who doesn't make you happy. You're settling. If you're settling for less money than that and is able to provide you the life that you desire, then you're settling, and you haven't made the inner shifts within yourself that enable you to show up differently, to have conversations differently, to create opportunities for yourself differently. And granted, it's not easy work. Granted, it takes support. But when something is a priority for you, when you've committed to changing that, and I really believe that the pay gap isn't going to change, and women aren't going to be earning more money until we take that on ourselves and we decide to do things differently. And I just came off, I did a live challenge inside the Big Creative Fund community, where I went through, did 3 trainings on the specifics of what needs to happen in that inner conversation in order for you to raise the income that you're receiving. And it is all really all down to the mindset work. It is really down to what you're willing to say yes to, what you're willing to, how willing you are to acknowledge your desire to have more, and your willingness to show up and take action in order to do that. And I work specifically with coaches, with artists, with healers, and I'm really sick and tired of this "I'm not good enough" conversation, because and I'm speaking from personal experience as a coach, as an artist, as a healer, as somebody who's worked with many, many different types of practitioners. And if this is you, if your career is dedicated to inspiring people, uplifting people, healing people, helping people to transform and create the things that they desire in their life, whether that's health, whether that's happiness, whether that's inspiration, creative freedom, upliftment, escapism, whatever it is that people desire, it's really your responsibility to deeply connect with the value of what it is that you provide, deeply connect with the value of who you are when you show up and do the work that you were born to do. And invite people to invest in the prices that make it worthwhile for you. You don't show up and do your best work if you are broke and struggling to pay the bills, or you're not receiving the money that really gives you the spaciousness and the freedom to invest, to cultivate your health, well-being, your energy, the way that you show up for your clients. And your prices are really a number that you get to pick. It's really that simple. And when you think about it, if you are a coach, if you're helping people to create transformation, if you are a healer, if you're helping people to remove pain, to create healing, to create expansion and improve the quality of life, that is freaking priceless. People spend so much money on alcohol, on cars, on clothes, on travel. But when you invite somebody to invest in creating more well-being, in creating transformation, that is something that creates value and creates a ripple effect of value throughout the rest of their entire life. When clients work with me, they create tens of thousands of dollars in income and learn how to create more money doing work that is more fulfilling to them. And that's just not during the time that we work together. That is through for the rest of their lives. They have now shifted. They have now created that ability to have a better life, to have fulfillment, to commit to the things that really make them happy. And that is something that is extremely freaking valuable, not only in a monetary amount, but in mental health, emotional health, physical health, in the quality that it brings to relationships. The ripple effect of this work is huge. So if you're a coach, you're a healer, or you're an artist, and you are creating this shift for people, which is what happens for them when they experience your work, they experience your time and energy, that is bringing something to them that creates value for the entire of the rest of their lives, or continues to create value for them. So it's really, really important to be engaged specifically in the conversation of the benefits and the value that you provide in your work, because when you really stand in that, it becomes really easy for you to charge the money that you require to live the life that allows you to be expansive and to show up and serve in a really big and powerful and impactful way. And go over to the Big Creative Fun community and check out the free trainings that I did that will be up there for a limited time. I go really deep into the subject and how to get over the fear of raising your rates. Because a lot of the time for women, it's a lot of bullshit fear stories that are standing between us and charging what it is that we really desire for our income, for our lives to be free and fulfilled and healthy and wealthy. And let's face it, if we can't first create that for ourselves, we're not really being very inspiring role models for the women around us and for the others that we work with. So it's really our responsibility to do that work, to do that inner work, to get over the conversations of low self-worth, to chuck out the bullshit fear stories. And that's exactly the work we're going to be doing in Create Money the Fun Way, which, by the way, enrollment closes tomorrow. So if this conversation is resonating with you, do go and click and sign up to the program before it closes, and I will not be running it at these prices again. And it's going to be freaking amazing. And we're working with Sarah Ripper, who's a really incredible energy alignment practitioner. She's going to be in on the calls with us too. So just take this opportunity to reflect on what are the top excuses as to why you're not asking for the money that you want, and why you're not going after the jobs that you really desire, why you're not creating those opportunities for yourself. A lot of the time, it's really just a bullshit story, like, oh, I'm not good enough, or somebody's going to discover that I'm not good enough, or I'm going to be rejected, I'm going to be criticized, or, I'll get a no, and then nobody will pay me, and then I'll end up homeless on the streets. All of these completely irrational fear stories that you have the capability to overcome. Even if you get a no, even if you make an ask and you get a no, another opportunity will come in for you. You will have the capacity to create that. Money is unlimited. Opportunities are unlimited. We get to claim to be in our power and be in a state of abundance and recognizing these opportunities that we have to create for ourselves, rather than committing to, I'm going to be discriminated against, I'm going to be, disrespected because I'm XYZ, gender, color, social, economic status, whatever our top excuses are. The change to end discrimination has to come from within us. It has to come from us embodying the story that I am valuable, I am respected, I am well paid, and not settling for anything less than that, because it's all the while that we continue to settle for that. As this article shows, for the last 20 years, no real progress has been made in the wage gap between men and women. So yes, there can be a lot of resistance that you can experience, but there is always a path of least resistance for you to get what you want. Yes, that will require drastic changes. Yes, that will require you doing things completely differently and letting go of the way that you've been doing everything up until now if you're not satisfied with the result. Yes, that requires support. Yes, that requires investment, but you are 100% capable of doing that. And it's really as simple as making the decision. I'm no longer settling for less money than the life that I desire. I'm no longer settling for the bullshit that doesn't make me happy. I'm no longer settling for the job that isn't fulfilling me. I'm no longer settling for bullshit from the people that I work with. And yes, it takes strength to cultivate that. And yes, it takes community. It is not possible to do this alone. You have to give yourself permission to create the support for yourself and to do whatever it takes to do that. And that has actually been my journey. Even before I could afford to start working with coaches, I found people who were training, who would work with me for free because they needed to clock their hours. And then gradually that led to more and more self-empowerment, more tools, more capabilities to build the strength and the courage to create the things that I desired. And then as and when I've created more money to be able to invest. And by the way, I never just had the money sitting around to invest in myself. I always went into debt, I borrowed, I hustled to create that opportunity for myself. And every single time I invested, that came back 1,000-fold. It increased my income, it increased my health, my wellness, my well-being, and my belief in myself and in my dreams and my capability to bring them into reality. So this is, and I see it that direct relationship between women under-earning and women investing in themselves. And it does come down to self-worth, and it does come down to breaking the mold, doing things differently to anyone else in your family having done them before. It involves doing things differently to probably everyone else around you. It involves being uncomfortable and asking for more money. It involves being uncomfortable and saying no to the things that you're no longer willing to settle for, that the majority of other people are settling for. Yes, it involves all of those things. Oh, thanks, Maeve. But that's how you get the results. That's how you get different results. And it's our responsibility, especially as people of privilege, people who live in the Western world, who aren't on the poverty line, who have an education, to use all of these resources and tools that we have available to us. If you have a line of credit, make that available to yourself and invest in yourself. And we don't help people by giving away our time and energy for free. Yes, of course, that is something that helps people from time to time, and you can do that with a portion of your time and energy. But just recognize if you're doing that, if you're giving it away more than you're giving it to yourself, more than you're reinvesting it in yourself in order to expand and grow and live a more impactful life that is in alignment with your values, that is expressing you uniquely for who you are, or are you sacrificing them by living in a way that somebody else has determined for you, whether that's your family, whether that is, thanks, babe. Whether that is your current employer who is not in alignment with your values. It's really our responsibility to recognize the freedom that we have and to take the opportunity, take the risks. And that is real freedom to me. I hear people all the time talk about the security, like job security, of having benefits, of having, that set income coming in every month, of whatever it is that you feel has brought you into this illusion of security. That is not security. Security is self-reliance. It is being connected to your own inner voice and knowing that whatever comes up around you, you have the ability to navigate that. You have the ability to problem solve and to find the solution that works for you every single time, because you can't copy and paste how other people live their lives onto your own situation. You've probably proven that to yourself over and over again. You try something that somebody else has done and it hasn't worked for you. Everybody is different. That's why self-trust is the most important way to cultivate security in life, because you never know the way things are going to change. You never know what jobs are going to be available. But when you can get into a place of adaptability, when you can trust your ability to get in touch with really what is the value that you provide, when you stand in your power and connect with your values and connect with the people who you are most capable of serving in whatever industry you're in, being really, really clear on that conversation, you always have the ability to be of service to others and to create value in the world and to create whatever it is that you need to live your life. And that is really, if you are already in entrepreneurship, but you're looking to get to the next level, if you are a freelancer, but you're looking to get to the next level of your income, or you're looking to move out of corporate into entrepreneurship, and whatever fear stories are coming up for you around charging more money, around serving at a higher level, of creating more freedom, creating more fulfillment, adjusting your career to one that's actually fulfilling for you because it's based around the activities and the skills and the passions that light you up, that energize you, that feel really good. But there's a whole fat sandwich of fear stories around that, why that's not possible for you. Just recognize that they're just excuses. They're really just excuses that are protecting you from taking the risk and failing and whatever it is you're afraid of, being rejected, being criticized, ending up homeless on the street. Whatever those stories are, recognize that you have the power to not make that happen. And you do that by creating support for yourself. You do that by investing in yourself. You do that by showing up consistently and deciding that you're no longer willing to settle for less than the money that you desire, for less than the freedom and the fulfillment than you really desire. And really that's the turning point, is you getting to decide. And that's really how you raise your rates. That's really how you create more income than you currently have, is by just deciding and then doing it and taking the action. And this is not a beat up, because I've been in that position. I've been earning like piddly squiddly dollars per hour and working really, really hard, being really burnt out, having really shitty physical health. And I was really afraid of putting my rates up, and I did it again and again and again. And guess what? Barely anybody ever said no. Barely anybody blinked an eye when I started raising my rates. And actually still, I haven't actually had anybody who said, no, that's too high. I mean, other than a couple clients when I was a copywriter, rarely anybody, which just goes to show and prove that more often than not, women are drastically undercharging for the work that we're doing. And I've heard this story again and again of people doubling their rate and nobody blinking an eye, and doing it again and nobody blinking an eye, which just goes to show that these fear stories are just ourselves fucking ourselves over with an absolutely bullshit fear story that if I do it, all the clients are going to dry up. If I raise my rates, I'm like screwing over the people who don't have any money, blah, 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 whatever it is. When you actually decide to get into that conversation of the value that you provide, you stand in that with confidence and you get really clear on what that is. And yes, that is a process, but it's one that you have to commit to in order to be able to take that action courageously. Then you get the results. And it just goes to show it's really down to us to do that work. We can sit and complain and, be attached to all of these stories that we are somehow screwing people over if we charge more money. That's absolutely not true. We always get to be of service and to be of support by providing our services at a reduced price or through scholarships or through donating some of our expertise for free in certain places to support people who are at that place in the journey. But ultimately, if we are not being savvy and creating the resources that we need to really perform at a high level and serve at a high level, doing the things that we are innately really good at and really enjoy doing, then we're robbing that experience from all of the people that would benefit from it and happily pay for it. So it's really, really important to be doing this work, to be doing this inner work around your own personal value and what it is that you are charging for the value that you're delivering. And so this is exactly the work that we're going to be doing in Create Money the Fun Way. So if you're not already getting support with that, send me a message, sign up for this program, and really decide that today is the day that you're no longer going to be giving into the bullshit stories about why you can't earn the money that you desire, doing the work that you're really passionate about doing, and getting real clarity on what that looks like for you. Because it's really all about shining the light on those bullshit stories that we have around people not having enough money to pay us, the fact that we're screwing people over if we charge lots of money for what we're doing, that, you know, if we put our prices up, all the clients will dry up, there'll be nobody who will pay for us. These are all complete myths. And if you're a healer, you're a coach, you're an artist, you are changing people's lives. You are inspiring people. You are giving people health. You're giving people wealth. You're giving people the things that they desire. You're giving people things that they pay so much money for, other things that don't bring them any of these life-changing experiences. So it's really down to you to change that in a conversation that you have with yourself, so that you stop giving into the excuses about why you can't be happy, why you can't create the things that really fulfill you, that create freedom, that create health, that create wealth for you and your community. Because you know that when you are taken care of, everybody else in your community is taken care of so much better as well. You stop being the person who is sick and being a burden on them because your energy is drained and other people have to pick up the slack, or you're in a bad mood because you're not feeling good. When you are filled up, when you have taken care of yourself because you have a reasonable work schedule, you're not overworked, you're not really tired, you have time for the things that bring you joy, bring you health. And yes, we live in a world where it's not set up in that way. But rather than seeing it from a perspective of resistance, to see it as that's really a choice that I get to make. Many, many people are making those choices every single day to create a business that fulfills them, to create an income that brings them everything they desire from life. It's literally never been easier to do that. You can have a business in pretty much freaking anything online now. You can serve people who care passionately about all of the things that you care about. You get to work with people that you love working with. You get to do things that you love doing. It's really a case of you giving yourself permission to decide that you're no longer settling for anything less than that. So, and you know, it's really about opting out of those conversations of scarcity, of settling for less, of settling for whatever it is that you think you can get, and really buying into the bullshit that everyone else is chewing on about women not being able to be paid more. That is our prerogative. We have the power to change that. And it's really about getting out of the victim story and recognizing that nothing is going to change until we change that in a conversation and we go out and claim it. And guess what? It's much easier than you think it is. It's not a fight of resistance. It's simply a fight of letting go of the bullshit stories and excuses that we have within ourselves as to why that's not possible, and choosing the path of least resistance, which is the one where we get to provide for ourselves, the one where we get to do the things that makes it easy for us to earn money, because we do the things that we're naturally really fucking good at and creating really, really powerful results for people. So yes, that takes a whole load of courage, but actually it's easy when you provide the support for yourself in order to do that. Say yes to investing in yourself. Say yes to providing the support for yourself that you need to iron out those things in your life. You know, just as I experienced health issues because I had a burnout, I put everything in, all of my resources, time, energy, and focus into figuring it out, because when you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And I tried everything, and I decided that every single thing I was going to try was going to be the thing that worked for me. And it was a 5-year journey. So the thing that I tried at the beginning wasn't the thing that immediately made me better. But the combination of all of those small actions that I took one after another, always deciding that it was going to work for me, was the thing that helped me to regain my health. And the exact same thing, I applied the exact same process to my finances. Everything I decided to invest my time, my resources, my energy in, shifting my inner conversation, seeing where I was screwing up, seeing where I could do things differently in order to create a better result for myself, and deciding that every single thing I tried was going to be the thing that worked, and never giving up until it happened. That is exactly how I shifted my finances and how I created a career that was really, really fulfilling, filled with freedom and more money than I've ever earned before, which is actually so much easier than not earning money. And that's the exact same thing I do for my clients now. So if you're an artist, a coach, or a healer, a creative entrepreneur, you're looking to double your income or more, you're looking to create a shift in the way that you're working so that it's more joy-filled, expansive, aligned work, less work than you currently are doing, so you have more space for self-care, and you're just really looking to juice up your life and to create more income than you have ever currently experienced, and you're looking for a container to create the support to shift all of those fears and anxieties, click on the link. I'm going to pin this comment and sign up for Create Money the Fun Way. Enrollment closes tomorrow. I'm not going to be running this program again at this price, and it's going to be completely life-changing. So let me know what you think. Let me know what this has triggered, this conversation has triggered for you, any questions, anything that's come up for you. And I really hope that this has inspired you to really focus on creating the shift in your finances, because it's such an important issue. And when we do that, we pave the way for the other women in our lives to do that as well. We get to stop settling. We get to invite the whole community to stop settling for less, because when we have money, when we have more power, we have more resources, all of that trickles out into the world around us. All of the things that we value get power added behind them and create more of an impact. And that is what shifts things to a world that more reflects our values, that we more enjoy living. We more enjoy, being human beings and able to live in. So thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.